Good day, everyone. My name is Kadibia, Kadi for short. So today we're going to be talking about um what sin is. Actually, the 5 things sin does to us. So, but first of all, we're going to talk about what sin is. So, what is sin? Sin is an immoral act considered to be a transgression against divine law. Now you'll be like, oh, she's trying to explain what sin is, and he's already talking about, is making it bogus and all that for us. So, but what is transgression? Transgression is an act against the law, or a code or something like that. So, in other words, sin is what goes against a divine law. So, but now, actually, our focus today is the 5 things sin does to us. So as human beings, definitely we are not perfect. We have times we actually at times we do things that um that we know goes against the law. It's an immoral act that goes against the divine law and all that. So we are caught up in this, but I would want us to know what it actually does to us. Those times we do those things, without doing it, and we feel like, oh, we are just humans, but I want us to see the consequences of these things, because sometimes we do them without knowing what they actually do to us, the repercussions of those things to us. We don't really know. We just do them. We are human beings, and everybody does it. And I think when I do it, I'm human too. So we hide under the shade that, oh, we are humans too. So we are bound to commit sins. We are bound to, nobody's perfect. We are prone to do stuff like that. But I want us to know the consequences today. First of all, what does sin do? The first one is it brings curses to us. Now, I'm looking from the Genesis, from book of Genesis, from 3 down, words, because it was just where sin started from. That was Genesis 3. That's where it started from. Then downwards, it goes and all that. Now let's look at Genesis 3. Genesis 3 was talking about how Adam and Eve, the Eve ate from the devil, that's Satan. The serpent tricked Eve to eat the tree of life, from the tree of life, and after eating, she gave to her husband, which is Adam. He ate, and and when God found out, God was like, oh, what have you people done? And Eve Adam put the blame, asked Adam. Adam put the blame on Eve. Eve put the blame on the serpent, and they were cursed. They were cursed. Before then they were enjoying the blessings of the Garden of Eden too. But after that they were cursed. And when they cursed, they told the man that they told the serpent that he would have to, crawl on his belly and all that and eat dust. And they told Eve that she would experience more pain and labor, and told Adam that he would suffer. He would have to till the earth. He would have to till the earth to get something to eat, for himself till he dies. And that was the first cause. It changed everything. It took away the blessings. It changed the original plan. It changed the original plans, because those causes changed the original plan. The original plan was to enjoy heaven on earth, but it changed the original plan of God for them. And so they started to suffer what was not actually part of God's plans for them. So that leads us to the second point, which is what hardship and difficulties. That is where they start to suffer. There's a lot of normally before they would just probably plant something and it sprouts and all that, and it germinates, and they probably get to enjoy it. I think there was a lot of things in abundance for them. When they were in the garden, they enjoyed it and everything. But now after they were being cursed, hardship followed. They had to, they stopped enjoying those full blessings, the full package, the original plan of God. And that leads us to, but there's something I would like to point out to even though that's one thing about God. Even though he cursed them, he was still passionate about them. He was still, he was still concerned about them, because the Bible makes us understand that he gave them, when they found out after eating the fruit, they got to find out that they were naked. They stood for themselves, some with leaves and all that. They closed, their body, covered their body with leaves and all that. But God even made more better provision for them. He gave them, he covered their body, their nakedness with animal skin. So that is how much he cares for them, even though they went against his wish and all that. Now, going to the third one, it it takes us out of the presence of God, because after they ate the the fruit, they were sent out of the Garden of Eden. Now, where God left them to, go and fend for themselves, go and do things for themselves, because now they now know what is good and bad. So it's actually took them out of the presence of God, but God was always with them though. But he took them out of the presence of God. Now, that now being said, he did something. He told he put angels, around the tree of life to guard it, because he said he doesn't want them to eat it and live forever. So sin reduces our life expectancies, or would I say our lifespan. So when we sin against God, it reduces our lifespan. You can see you can see after you could see, I find it interesting knowing that before now, people like Enoch, Methuselah, and the rest, even Adam and Eve, they lived up to 900, and they had people that lived up to 800 and something years and all that, many of them. So it's but now the most you can see is probably 100 and something, 120, 130, 100, and that is no. And I wonder, this lifespan that was cut short was because of sin. It was because of sin. His original plan for us was to live up to 900 and 800 and even probably 1,000. But because of our sin, because of our life, because of what we did, he cut it short to 100. And these days we get maybe up to 70, 80, and we're like, oh, he really tried. But that was not God's original plan for us. His original plan was to live 100 and live 900 and 800 and 1,000 or more. I believe his original plan for us was to live forever. But because of the sin of Adam and Eve, it was cut to short to like 930. And as we continue to sin more and more, the life span was cut short down to 70, 80, 100 and something. So we can see that every time we sin, we cut short our life expectancy. It is being cut short because sin is not something that it doesn't please God. It makes it brings down His anger upon us. So every time we sin, we are cutting down our lifespan. Even up to this moment, every day we sin, it is changing God's original plan for us. So now that leads us to number 5. When the life plan has been cut short, then what is inevitable? Death. Death is inevitable. Even now we could talk about spiritual and physical death. Then it was more of the physical, but now we are in a realm where we're privileged to enjoy both the physical and the spiritual aspect of life. So even before you die physically, when you give into sin, you die spiritually first of all before even dying physically. So today giving into sin actually kills us spiritually, then it kills us physically. So normally the original plan was to live forever, for us to live forever, enjoy all the benefits of life. But every day we sin, we are changing the original plan. So today I want us to go back, reflect, we should find out for ourselves that, every time, tell yourself, every day I sin, every moment I sin, every time I sin, I'm actually cutting down my life expectancy. So I want us today to go and reduce or minimize or even stop things that would make us go into sin. Like for myself, there's something I do normally. I try to look at things before I even start. Like I'm like, oh, okay, if I go into this, what would this result to? What would this result to? Would this what would this result to? Will it end well? Is it something that might lead me to sin? Things like that. And sometimes I'll be like, oh, I don't think I should go into it, because if the moment I go into this, I might find myself, going against the divine law. That's God's way, finding myself in an immoral act. For instance, having bad friends. Let's go with that. Having friends that are not as a person that wants to keep a moral life, that wants to keep a moral conduct. Having a good, having bad friends around is just an indicator that, oh, one day you might just find yourself doing things that you don't want to do, or things that you never planned on doing. So what I do is I cut those bad friends off. You get, I keep them at a distance. I don't engage myself more with them, because I really don't know what I might find myself doing. You get, so it's